2025 Korea's real-life courtroom drama, reality stranger than fiction. So, the foot soldiers go to jail. And the guy who gave the orders sips coffee? Seriously? Act 2 Yoon's impeachment. So, how's this new election gonna? Now, Yoon's appointees are the majority. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching South Korean politics lately, you might be wondering, is this a movie or real life? Well, grab some popcorn. Let's break down this real-life political courtroom drama. Act 1 The December 2024 martial law plot. Who's locked up and who's walking free? On December 3, 2024, then President Yoon Suk-yeol basically shouted, "Martial law, let's roll." He ordered the military to seize the National Assembly and the Election Commission, and even had a list of politicians to arrest. Yes, like a Hollywood script. But 6 hours later, cut. The martial law plan was cancelled. Just a trailer, no full feature film. So, who did what? President Yoon wrote the script, starred as the lead actor. Ex-Defense Minister Kim Yong-yeon and military generals. Supporting cast and stunt team. They drafted documents, mobilized troops, and tried to storm the National Assembly. But got caught. The result? Mastermind Yoon? Free as a bird. Kim and the generals? VIP seats behind bars. Public reaction? So, the foot soldiers go to jail. And the guy who gave the orders sips coffee? Seriously? Why did this happen legally? According to Korean law, you only get locked up before trial if you might run or destroy evidence. Yoon? Nowhere to run, and prosecutors already grabbed most of the evidence. No need to arrest him, said the court. Kim and the generals? Hard evidence. And they still had influence in military networks. Might tamper with evidence, so straight to jail. Legally, makes sense? Maybe. But public opinion? Not so much. Isn't the guy who gave the orders supposed to take more responsibility? Justice should mean punishment proportional to responsibility. But the court said, we don't judge by feelings. We follow the procedure. Yeah, the public wasn't exactly comforted by that. If philosopher Kant were here, he'd say, leaders should be held accountable first. Utilitarian Bentham? Avoid social chaos, even if it means letting the big guy walk. The court clearly sided with Bentham. Locking up Yoon might have sparked massive protests and political chaos. So the practical choice: free the leader, jail the followers. Kim and the generals said, we were just following orders. International law replied, we've heard that before. Doesn't fly. Ask the Nuremberg trials. In summary, legally, procedural justice was followed. Publicly, justice? More like favoritism. Bottom line, the law did its job. But the public's heart didn't buy it. And the phrase people hate hearing the most right now? The law was followed, so there's no problem. Act 2 Yoon's impeachment. So, how's this new election gonna? Fast forward to April 4, 2025. Korea's Constitutional Court officially impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. Boom, he's out. Translation? The president's seat is empty. Legally called a vacancy. The Constitution says, elect a new president within 60 days. That's Article 68, Clause 2. So, who takes over temporarily? The Prime Minister. If the PM's unavailable, cabinet ministers step up. So right now, the PM's probably chilling in the president's chair. Let's get this election rolling. The very day Yoon was removed, the PM told the National Election Commission, we've got a vacancy. Time to prep for a new election. By law, the election must be held within 60 days of the impeachment date. After some serious calendar checking, they picked June 3, 2025. Exactly 60 days later. What are the candidates up to? Preliminary candidate registration? Started. Public officials running for office must quit at least 30 days before election day. Official candidate registration starts 24 days before the election. Campaigning? Full blast from registration to the day before voting. You've probably already seen their faces all over TV, YouTube, and social media. And once someone wins, congrats, you're president starting now. New term? A fresh 5 years. Not just finishing Yoon's leftovers. Transition team? No. Vacancy elections mean the winner starts working immediately. Congrats. Now, first meetings at 9 a.m. Act 3 Enter the inevitable the Lee Jae-myung. Now, let's talk about the blockbuster subplot. Lee Jae-myung's legal drama. Back in the 2021 presidential race, Lee said, Kim Moon-ki? Don't know him. Baekhyun Dong Land? The Ministry of Land pressured us. Prosecutors thought, sounds like a lie. And so, the trial began. First trial guilty. 1-year prison sentence, suspended for 2 years. Basically, losing his right to run for office. Second trial total reversal. Statements were vague. Not criminal. Not guilty. Then came the Supreme Court. And that's when things got cinematic. Act 4 Lee Jae-myung. The Supreme Court express justice or political pit stop? Usually, Supreme Court cases? They crawl, like turtles on a lazy day. 4 justices debate. If it's serious, they pass it to the full bench. Average time for election law cases? 92 days. About 3 months. But Lee's case? Chief Justice Cho Hee-dae got the file and said, full bench. Now, final verdict? 36 days later. Once it hit the full bench? Just 9 days to the ruling. That's faster than pizza delivery. Legal circles were shocked. At this speed, they could win Formula One in judicial rows. And the result? Lee's trial dominated headlines throughout the election season. His legal troubles? Front page news every day. Why all the suspicion? Even within the legal community, people whispered. Was this scripted in advance? One judge wondered, did they actually review the case, or was it just theater? A former prosecutor said bluntly, no sign of serious deliberation. When the case went back to the Seoul High Court, turbo mode, first hearing May 15. Now, the political elephant in the room. Who picks Supreme Court justices? The president nominates, parliament approves, president appoints. Looks fair? Underneath? Lots of political horse trading. Yes, there's a nominating committee. But public involvement is limited in backroom deals? Always rumored. Lately, the president's office has even vetoed nominees they don't like. One judge called it political interference not authorized by law. Current lineup? Under Moon Jae-in? Slight progressive tilt. Now, Yoon's appointees are the majority. Not all conservatives, but the shift is clear. Impact on Lee's case? Many believe this lightning-fast process can't be explained without political motives. Legally possible? Sure. But in the public's eyes? It looks like politics wearing a judge's robe. Final thought? The court insists procedurally, everything's fine. The public? But is it really fair? Because law isn't just about being fair. It must also look fair. This case? It's the ultimate test of that principle. And no matter what anyone says, the public is watching. Closely. Really closely. Season finale? June 3rd. Stay tuned.